Bonsai, I'm the Cobra Kai kid, and today I am joined by Bret Ernst, who plays Louie LaRusso in Cobra Kai. How's it going today, Bret?
It's going good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Congratulations on part one of season 6. We still got 2 more parts to come out, but how does it feel having the first 5 episodes now out to the world?
It's cool, man. It's I think the next five there's more, a little bit more of me and Anoush. Can't divulge storylines, but I don't know if it's the next five or the final five, but it's yeah. It's funny. I don't even know like what they're releasing. I just don't know. Like we're
Hmm.
not that I'm kept in the dark. I just you only get the episodes that you have. So I don't know when that's coming out, but it's exciting, man. I mean, it was such a good project to be a part of.
Yeah, for sure. Well, whatever it is, I mean, it'll be a surprise for you too, I guess, right? Just
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
fans.
Well, it is every season.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I absolutely love it so much, and I always say like, Louis just like there's a lot of seriousness to the show, but there's also a lot of comedy. And when you have the scenes with Louis and Anoush in the dealership, it's just brilliant. Like that's like down to the writing, the acting, and you guys really knock it out of the park.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, that's why because Dan's a comic as well. We were actually touring together, and that's why they brought us in for like a little comic relief.
You guys were touring together before Cobra Kai?
No, we knew each other from the circuit. We never really. I mean, we met a couple times, but we obviously knew of each other more. I mean, which is very common in stand-up circuits. Like you'll see people at gigs, and you become your friends just when you see each other. But then when we did the show together, we became really good friends, like close, because we're close in real life too.
Yeah.
And we're not too far off from the characters we play, anyways. Because Dan's a big foodie and he's really snobby with that stuff, and you know, I have Guido tendencies. I mean, I don't know if this gave it away.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, like, um, for those who watch Cobra Kai and they only know you as Louis, like, what are the similarities and differences between you and Louis, and then like Bret Ernst and Louis LaRusso?
Um, I don't know. I mean, we're both, I guess, from Jersey originally. we're both. I'm mostly Italian American. Mostly Sicilian. It's funny too. The Karate Kid when I was younger. I gravitated towards it because there was similarities where like my mom was a single mom and then she moved us to Florida,
Hmm.
which was kind of like California, you know what I mean, at the
Yeah.
time, coming from New Jersey and then going to like the beach areas. And I mean that's where it's similar, I guess. But I don't sell cars, and I
Yeah,
am loyal though. I'm loyal to my family, so that's similar.
that's
But Louis,
huge.
Louis doesn't mean any harm. He just doesn't know any better.
Yeah, yeah. No, everything he does is for the family. So, and that's
Yeah.
it. I mean, sometimes he might take it a little over the top, but I mean, family first
Well,
is a good
I
trait.
will say this, Drew. The one thing where me and Louis are different, I would have never ratted my cousin out and gave up that address in real life.
Mm. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was so quick to give it up.
Yeah, he told him right. I told Billy or Johnny right where he lives.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's amazing. Did you? That's cool that you were able to relate to the Karate Kid storyline, the moving. Was like any of the bullying stuff, or the
The fish out of water thing, a little.
yeah.
Although South Florida has a very heavy northeastern influence to it, so it was a lot easier to uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Assimilate. But yeah, no, look, that movie was big for my generation. The Karate Kid and one and two. Plus, being a huge fan of Rocky, the
Mm.
director of Rocky directed Karate Kid, which was, back then I was just into football and movies. and stuff like that when I was a kid. So I kind of knew that it was because they used to say from the director of Rocky,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, oh, okay,
It's a smart tactic. Like that's how they, use
Oh
that's
yeah,
how they
yeah, yeah,
promote
yeah.
it.
In Hollywood, a movie is gets made if it has a big director, obviously a big star, a big director, or a big producer.
Yeah.
So that's part of their marketing strategy. Got me in the theater, so
For sure. And now when you have like Obliterated, like John Josh and Hayden's other series from the creators of Cobra Kai
yeah,
comes
yeah, yeah,
Obliterated. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like that in life. Success breeds success. So you want to ride it, especially in the entertainment business, because sometimes the window. It's kind of like professional sports. You have to keep winning, and when you're doing that, the window can close at any minute. So you use whatever you can to keep working.
For sure. Well, I know a lot of actors like have different thoughts on this. So I'm curious like your thoughts on this. When you have like that one role that you're known for and everybody is like, "Oh, like that like, especially like Karate Kid, like, like Ralph Macchio, he'll always be like synonymous for Daniel Russo like and in a way like maybe like there's like the typecasting like thing, that people will say like what are your thoughts on that as an actor?
You should be so lucky.
Yeah.
But Ralph he worked with, like, he was an established actor. He was a very big star. I
Yeah.
mean, Karate Kid excelled him, but he was in The Outsiders, which was a Francis Ford Coppola film, who did The Godfather. He was he was a pretty well known actor. And then Johnny or Billy or William Zabka, he he kind of played. He was the '80s bully in a lot of movies, but he
Yeah.
did Back to School, just one of the guys. Um, he was in a lot. He was in a lot of those movies. So, like I said, it keeps you working. And then and Ralph did a lot of Broadway as well. But it's a good problem to have. I mean, even before I was Louie, every other show I was ever casted in, they put me in a tracksuit, rightfully so. So I've been typecasted from day one.
Yeah.
My first talking role ever was on the show CSI,
Mm.
and I played a gang member from the Bronx, like an Italian. They were called the Tanglewood Boys. It was in that was the episode, I think, CSI Tanglewood.
Mm.
And then the next major thing I was in was Weeds, but I played an Armenian in a tracksuit, and I was a drug dealer who I ended up killing her husband. That was like the DEA agent.
Mm.
I was in a 2 episode arc of that
Oh,
in a
cool.
tracksuit. And then I thought I was away from the tracksuit in Cobra Kai, but then they put me in one when I was busting up the car.
Yeah.
So I'm typecasted already.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how do you like try like when that happens, do you try to like avoid those type of roles or are you kind of like cool with like, hey, as long as it's a good project, I'm in for it.
Now I take whatever I can get, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have. I don't have. Look, it's a tough business. You start. You're constantly working on things. You start into the extra work, and then you'll get some lines, and then you'll be auditioning for parts. I've had about 5 pilots. One with Fox. I had deals with like ABC. That type of stuff where they try and do a show around you. You get away from, you're doing what you want to do. But like I said, whatever gets your foot in the door, man. And then once you get there, you're always playing chess in this business. But I got lucky because I was doing a theater in Asbury Park the week I got the call for the audition. So, obviously I don't, if you're in the Northeast where that's where you are, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember you came to my show in Staten Island.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, they have a real accent. Like if you're around it, people outside of New York or in that area will hear you talk. Like I say talk, I don't say talk.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I don't do Manhattan, dog.
Jersey.
Yeah, I don't, but I was very fortunate. The timing was perfect for Cobra Kai because I was in New Jersey for about a week promoting my show. So I was around a lot of family and friends. And, you kind of get back into the accent a little. So when
Mm,
I got the call for the audition, I was flying in on Sunday. So I had my show Saturday night and I did two shows and I was on the radio promoting it and stuff. So I was like, I didn't really look at the script. And then when I was reading it on the plane, because I had the audition on Monday, when I walked in, I kind of had a hint of the accent, which I wouldn't have played it over the top anyways. But when I talked to the guys, the producers, Hayden, John, those guys,
yeah.
um, Josh, they told me what sold them on me was the fact that I wasn't over the top. But because I was around the accent all week, it was just enough,
Mm,
you know, and it kind of worked. So because I played it straight, I didn't play it, hey, how you doing? Like I wasn't a cartoon character.
yeah.
And they just said the way I played it was more natural, and it was just good timing because I was around all those people for a week.
That's awesome. Do you
Yeah.
remember? I know it was a while ago, but do you remember what scene you auditioned with?
I think it was the when I'm talking about. Well, I improv the Wesley Snipes line when we were in the office, and he was talking. We were talking about following Samantha.
Yeah.
It was like the second or third episode where we're eating sandwiches in the office.
Yes, yes. The third
But
episode, yeah.
but I remember me and Dan, my first day on the set. One of our first scenes was when they see each other for the first time. And
Yeah.
again, it's hard for you guys. Well, it wouldn't be now because now the show is popular and they're very well known. But the
Mhm.
way those actors were when I was younger was like, and then me, it was kind of surreal to be there. And now I'm his cousin. And me and Dan looked at each other. We're like, holy shit, because it's the first time they were together in that long. In
Yeah.
whatever how many years that was, maybe 15 years, 20 years. I don't know. I don't know what the time. Yeah,
30
more than 20 years.
34. 34
Yeah,
years. Yeah.
yeah. So, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was historic and you were part of that. And I actually have something to show you. Um I don't know if I told you about my Cobra Kai episode 1 recreation video. Have I ever mentioned that
No,
to you? Okay.
no.
Okay, so in 2019 to 2020, it took me a year. I worked on this project where I recreated the entirety of the first episode, word for word, scene for scene. I played like almost all the characters and I recreated everything, including that scene that you mentioned. And if it's all right with you, I'd love to, show it to you right now and get your reaction.
How old were you when you did this?
I was like 16,
16?
17, yeah.
That's
16.
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was baby Cobra
Is
Kai
this you
kid.
playing me?
This is me playing you, yes. Yeah. Well, this is me playing everybody. And then my mom would what we would do is because I was playing everybody, there were certain scenes where like I had to like actually physically interact with another person. So my mom would play like the back of someone while the camera was on the front of me. So I'm gonna show it to you. I'd love to get your thoughts. So okay, so here it is. This is a little clip from the recreation, and I'm sure you'll recognize the scene when it starts. So here we go.
Johnny?
Johnny Lawrence! I knew it was you! Holy... How the hell are you, man?
Hey man.
Oh my god, look at you! You still got those golden locks, eh? God, this is crazy. How you been?
Great, man. Thanks. I've been great.
That's great, that's... Hey, Noosh, come here. Louie, get over here. I want you to meet somebody.
Oh, no, I gotta go.
No. This is Johnny Lawrence. He and I go way back, right, buddy? This guy was the toughest dude in my high school. When I moved here from Jersey, he and we got into it a little bit. This guy really had it in for me. Yeah, well, he did move in on my girl. Well, she actually wasn't really your girl anymore, was she? I mean... Oh, all right, that's all water under the bridge. Wait, is this the karate guy? The guy from the tournament? Well, this is the guy whose ass you kicked. Well, listen, it was a really close match, but if you want to get technical, I kicked his face. I'm just busting your chops. It was an illegal kick. Oh, illegal, really? Come on, what about that elbow to my knee? Yeah, I got a warning and you got the win. Whoa. No fighting in the showroom, guys. All right, come on, back to work. All right, nice meeting you. Let's go, get back to work. Enough reminiscing, right?
And that was it.
Is that your mom in a wig?
Yeah.
Dude, that's why you gotta love moms, man. They just step up whenever their kid is, especially their sons, are doing something stupid.
She is the best. Like, I remember, like, she had no clue. Like, now she understands, like, what, like, the crazy things that I do. But I remember at the time, it was like one of our first, like, big projects like this. And I'm just putting her in wigs and outfits. I'm like, stand here. And she's like, okay. And then it came together and she's like, okay, I see it now.
That's hilarious. Well,
Thanks.
good job, man. You did good.
Thank you. Yeah, and that video actually has, because it's the whole first episode and it has over 1 million views on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, man, whatever people are watching.
There was someone commented when you can't afford YouTube Premium.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It's like the free version.
You know, I'll say this, man. That's what's cool about your generation, at least. Like, you guys can do stuff like that for fun. We used to kind of do that when we were younger with like the handheld cameras that they had back then.
Yeah.
But nobody really knew how to edit. There was no editing stuff, but we would always do like, recreate stuff when we were kids, but now you guys have, it's so much like technology is right at your fingertips. So
for sure.
But that's fun, man. That's funny, kid.
Thank you. Were you like making movies and stuff when you were younger? Like, were you into the filmmaking side of it or just acting stuff out?
We would do like kind of like pranks and stuff like that, and do stupid stuff, like around with our friends. My little brother did it way more than I did, but I remember I made a video one time for my class, and when I was like in 7th grade, my stepbrother had he used to film weddings and stuff, and he like did something for me, like a 5-minute thing for a project. But I'm just saying, you have to understand with our phones. Where is my phone? You have everything's at your fingertips. You've got like everything that I would have needed for this back then would have cost me $2,000-$3,000. I mean, more than that, because then you had to get editing equipment and all that. I mean, everything's just at your phone. It's a computer, a flashlight, video, a recorder, everything, man.
Yeah,
that's why I always say it's the best time to be a comic, because you have all these outlets to get your material out there,
For sure. Yeah, I mean, there's so many like social media. Like, while there's like like so much with it, like you could really take advantage of the platform. And how did you because with your comedy, I know you post a lot of stuff on social media. How did that like transition? Because like when you were doing comedy in the beginning, like was social media like not as big as it is now?
It just was starting. MySpace was pretty big, but I was already 9 years in, but nobody was really sharing the clips. Yeah, so it was mostly for promoting and stuff. Dane Cook was like the first to really utilize the social media thing. I was the first to do a free hour YouTube special. So I was the very first to do that. I mean, I talked to like Andrew Schultz and Ari Shafir. Like they were friends of mine, like Burr, that kind of encouraged it. But I remember when I first did it, Andrew, we were talking about it, and we all kind of saw where it was going.
Mhm.
You also have to realize that comics are on the forefront of social media. So
Yeah.
what Dane did with MySpace, Corolla, Marin, Rogan did with the podcasts. I did with the comedy specials, and it's just constantly evolving. But again, a lot of my friends, I'm very proud of them, have done amazing things through it. I noticed a difference. I think I have almost 5 million views on Principal's Office, which
Yeah.
that is the first hour long free special on YouTube.
Wow.
And then when I did Domesticated Animal, which was the next one, I already set up this distribution model, but to promote it was much easier when I did Principal's Office, because now you have competing platforms. Like Facebook wasn't really competing with YouTube then. And then YouTube tried to start a streaming service. And then, as you know, certain words and things can drop you down the algorithm. And it just became this or cat and mouse game. I don't know if you know who Tom and Jerry are,
Oh,
where
of
like
course, of course, yeah.
you're chasing the algorithm, and
Yeah.
it's constantly moving. And then guys like Bert Kreischer, Theo Vaughn, my buddy Sebastian he did really well through social media at that time, cutting up clips. A lot of guys ended up really changing Hollywood by it. And I like where it's going. I think the internet's great if they're not going to censor people,
Mhm.
free thought. I get, certain things don't need to be mentioned, but if they keep it going the way it is, I think it's the best thing for any type of artist, musicians, comics, guys that want to recreate show scenes in their teams and playing many characters.
You, if you had watched if you had watched the rest, you would have seen I come out as Samantha LaRusso.
Dude, the best though, which is strong, is your mom with the wig.
Oh my
And,
god, yeah.
you see the earring.
And it's like when the camera switches back, it looks nothing like what it was.
Wait, where'd you get the wig? Was that from that looks like from the Ric Flair Spirit costume?
That was like a wig I had for Halloween one year, and it was like, we just need you to wear it just to show that like you're a guy. I don't even know, but and then those
It's
were
great, man.
my dad's suits. They were huge on me. But I tried to get it to look like the suits that were in the show, kind of, as best as I could. But
So this channel though, you kind of took off with it, because when I first met you, I think you were just starting out, or you just came, you were just talking to me, and I was like, what a nice kid. So we were just chopping it up, and I think you said you were going to start doing something like this, or were you doing it already?
no, I've been doing it for since 2019.
And
So
when did so I met you in 2021, right?
2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
It all
So
blends together, man.
yeah, I know. No, it's crazy. I was thinking about it, and I was like, we met last year, and then I'm like, wait, no, it was 2 years ago. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I went.
Almost three.
What?
It probably was almost three, more closer to three. But the point is,
Yeah.
when you came up to me, you were like, yeah, I do this. I love seeing this type of stuff, man. I really do. Especially when younger people, this is just where it's going. And it's funny too, as you get older, you start to see things change. I have never in my life had I seen such a dramatic change and difference in the entertainment business from when I first started to now. I mean, it's
Mm.
totally different. But you either adapt or die, and some of us have adapted, like I was talking about my friends with the podcasts and that are doing well, and some comics refuse to do it, and some people have a negative opinion on it. I think it's great. And I think it's great that you younger kids now can be creative and, because who knows what the next thing's going to be.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen. I mean, it's just constantly changing, and I don't even know what I can't even keep up.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think one of the I don't know how long this has been a thing, but and I'm curious if you use it or something like this for your because I know you take a lot of clips from your comedy shows and post them. Like there's these websites that like if you put in like an hour of footage, it'll take like 5 minutes and it'll break it down into a bunch of shorts and it like kind of detects the best words. So say like you like put like one of your comedy shows in, like the AI can like take it and then it can like it'll detect like, oh, like that opening line will catch people because of this word, this word, this word, and then it'll put,
honestly, I don't trust that. I don't trust that. Here's
yeah,
why.
yeah,
And I'm sure it eventually down the road it might, but it can't sense nuance. It doesn't know facial expressions.
yeah,
I don't know if it'll recognize a callback. And plus, personally, I don't. I want to look at it and say, okay, I want to put this, because I want to be kind of protective of the material because most of my clips come from my specials,
mm-hmm.
except for the topical stuff. Like I just did that bit on the breakdancing lady, which that'll come and go.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, as a 27-year veteran of stand up, I had to break out of the mold of being very protective of the material and not letting it out too soon. Because when you're doing stand up, it's always a work in progress, and you incubate it a lot, and you don't want it out right away. You want to make sure it's done the right way. You know what I mean? And it was kind of difficult for me to find that happy medium on what I want out there and what I'm still working on. Like I was working, but now I'm mad. Like I had this whole new, basically half hour I wanted to get out before the election. And
Mm-hmm.
I had t-shirts made. And one of the jokes was, can we just get anyone under 70? And I spent $1,000 on merchandise. On t-shirts. I
Yeah,
had this great thing. It was a fair and balanced act I was working on where I like to, go after both sides.
mm-hmm.
And then Biden dropped out. Kamala comes in. I can't use the half hour. All my
Oh my,
t-shirts I can't use now. And I'm like, God, I should have just put it out
uh,
instead of holding on to it. So stuff like that can happen. And that's the first time that's ever happened in my career where, you know, my material I was really focusing on the bits and the writing, and I should have just, if I would have got it out when I should have got it out, I could have used it for what it was, got rid of my t-shirts, and I would have been fine. And then I could have but now I have to rewrite everything.
mm,
So stuff like that, you can bite you in the ass as a
yeah.
comic.
But as you said, it was the first time it happened, so it's a learning experience, right?
Yeah, I mean, now it's like when I did the Rachel Gunn stuff, I'm like, I was just working it out on stage, and I kind of hit all the beats. And then the next night, because I have 2 residencies in Vegas, I do Tuesday, Wednesday at the Strat at the LA Comedy Club at 10 o'clock, which is like a workout room. And then I
Mm-hmm.
do Jimmy Kimmel's Club on Sunday at 7:30.
Mm,
So I have like opportunities to work on a bit. And then the first time I did it, it hit great. And then the second time I did it, I kind of try to fix it like how I thought it could be better. Didn't hit as good. And then I'm like, why am I waiting? Let me just get it out. And I just used the very first time I ever did it on stage, and it got a good response. So, I'm trying to break out of that mindset a little,
yeah,
even though I still respect the material that I'm still trying to incubate it and create it and write it the right way, if that makes sense.
for sure. So you've been doing stand-up for 27 years?
Yeah.
Wow. And how long have you been acting?
23, 24.
Okay. So how did the like what was the journey like from like how did you become a stand-up actor and how did that like transition into acting and then now you're doing both like pretty much full time, right?
Well, I mean, now that Cobra Kai is done, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on to the next thing. I just booked this animated series, not series, movie. I'm playing a pigeon, but
Oh, can you reveal what it is or not yet?
not yet, really,
Okay.
because I know Snoop Dogg's in it and Howie Mandel.
Oh,
So it's like, one of those things, the animated movies about,
yeah.
with the animals and stuff. But
That's exciting.
it's fun, man, because you don't need hair and makeup. You just go in the booth. You can do it 1,000 times, different ways. They tell you when you got it, you move on. Then they take the voice, then they do the animation to it loosely, and then you go back in. And I haven't done the second session yet.
Mm.
But the transition was basically, I talk about stand up more than acting. That's really what I love. Like everything's parallel. Does that make sense? The acting, the stand up, the writing, all of it's parallel.
Yeah.
So acting is an obvious transition from stand up. And when I first moved to LA, I started in 96. And then when I first moved to LA in 99, I got at the Comedy Store, and then I got passed at 2000. So I was a store guy from like 2000 to when I moved in like 2018. I was there almost every night. And if you're not familiar with the Comedy Store, that's, basically everybody on the podcast were there every night. That's how we all know each other.
Yeah.
From, Ari Shaffir to Bobby Lee to Joe Rogan. We were there every night working, Joe Diaz. So, we had our own little friends. We just worked every night. We saw each other. We hung out. You just grow from that. And then through stand up, people come to, because it's a high profile club, they'll see you on stage and then say, hey, do you write? Do you act? And, and then from there, it's like, yeah, I kind of do. But my first really big break, I had two. There was a festival that was pretty big for a long time. It just went away maybe this year or last year. It was called Montreal Just for Laughs. So in 2003, they have this thing called New Faces where they bring in new comedians. And they showcase the new comics, the up and coming comics. So I did New Faces, and then I got what's called a development deal with one of the networks where they give you a certain amount of money and they try to develop a show with you. And then I got two of those in a row, which helped me big time so I could not have to deliver pizzas and work at the restaurant and whatever jobs I was doing to survive. Then in 2006, I did a movie with Vince Vaughn and a documentary. It was called The Wild West Comedy Show. And it was a documentary. It was right after Wedding Crashers came out. And it was in theaters. It was me, Sebastian Maniscalco, John Caparulo, and this guy Ahmed Ahmed, and Vince Vaughn, and like a bunch of guys. John Favreau's in it. We toured the country for 30 days, and we hit all of we tried to do 30 theaters in a row.
Wow.
And then Katrina hit, and it was right when we were on tour. So it was a good documentary. It was really big, got a lot of press. And then from there, that helped me in the comedy clubs, booking on the road more. And then I was put into an acting class. And then from there, you just practice more. You had to work at that. I mean, we're not all as talented as you are at 16. But, we have to work at it. So then things just progressed from there. And then from the development show, I was working with writers where I was reading scripts and then taught myself to write scripts. And then from that, I was able to get optioned as a screenwriter. So everything came through comedy. It just started through comedy. And I know that's long-winded, but everything just started coming out of that. And then you audition and you get roles. Like I was on Young and the Restless, but I was like 29 as playing a college kid. Yeah. My first line on national TV was me playing a waiter on Young and the Restless in a cafe, and then leaving that job to go actually be a waiter.
Really?
At the Cheesecake Factory, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it makes sense though that the comedy would like tie in because like with you have to write the jokes, you have to come up with the stories, and then, you know, when you're actually on stage, you're like putting on a performance, you're kind of like you're making people laugh, you're doing the whole thing.
Yeah, it's there's a Japanese saying that I love. It says everybody has three faces. The one they show society, the one that their friends and family see, and then there's the one that they look at in the mirror. And that's
Mm.
the one where, you do embarrassing shit by yourself, or you have obtrusive thoughts, or, fucked up weird things when you're alone. And that's the face that comics show the audience,
Mm.
right? Not
Yeah.
fully, but that's the one that you're looking at. So when you're on stage, to be as you want to be as well, I mean, as open as possible, as vulnerable as possible, as truthful as possible. You can't be fully truthful.
Mhm.
Like if I'm telling a story, the story's true, but I'm also adding in things that not that it makes it funnier, but you don't want to incriminate people in your family, so you kind of embellish a little
Yeah.
to not incriminate, or there's certain people that don't want to be in your act.
Do you run it by like someone like if like
Yes.
you do?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. And I've had a pretty what's the word I'm looking for, dysfunctional childhood and upbringing, but there's a lot of colorful people in my life, and some thankfully are still around, some are gone, but you always want to respect that. I'm not just going to throw somebody out there who doesn't want to be, there's, you don't want to do that to anybody. It's not cool. And then, like, certain things too, as a writer, let's say you have a friend that did this, and a friend that did that, and a friend that did this, and a friend that did that, and all four things are funny on their own.
Mhm.
You can't do that on stage. So what you do is you take those characteristics and you make it one person. So
Mm.
it's easier
Yeah.
to sell to an audience, because you remember, you don't have any visuals, you're just talking, so you have to paint pictures with your words, with your I play with tone a lot. Like sometimes I'll deliver something angry, sometimes frustrated, sometimes laughing. It just depends on the tone. And you play with the audience a lot, or there's a psychology there too, where you do things with the audience to manipulate a crowd, and all of that will come into play when you get an acting gig. It's all training you for that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's super interesting, especially like the way that you're putting it. So how do you like how does it like come where like an idea or a story that maybe you experience like when how does it happen where it's like, oh, like I could take this and turn it into a joke? Like is it always based off of real experiences to you or
Yeah,
someone else?
yeah, yeah. I'm one of those people where, unless it's an observation, I don't make fun of other people's tragedies.
Mhm.
I do mine.
Mhm.
Um, and it's not like it doesn't affect me as far as personally, but it's very. I think the word's cathartic
Yeah.
to talk about things that are kind of difficult to talk about. But I'm not going to take the liberty to do that. I'm not that type of comic. Like I'm not really. I'm very much known as a storyteller.
Mhm.
That's how I'm known amongst other comics. I didn't start that way. I always had a touch of it. I was, because everything was still based on personal stuff, like going to the club,
Mhm.
right? But it got layered as you get more experienced. So basically, if I'm around people and I'll remember something fucked. I'm sorry. Can we curse?
Yeah, yeah, you're
I
good.
don't want to. Something messed up I did, or something really embarrassing, or anything embarrassing is always funny.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll tell something, and then like if they're like, that really happened, or if you're like, yeah, and then I'm like, you should tell it on stage. So what I do is I'll go up and I'll just start talking about something, and then from that I'll start molding it, and you don't want it to be too wordy. But that's why it's so great to have these two shows in Vegas every Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because the other thing is I get to do an hour and a half. And on top of that, the audience is from everywhere. It's all tourists.
Oh
So
yeah,
you're
yeah.
you're hitting every demographic, every political ideology, every race, every gender, everything. Every geographical location is usually in your audience. So you can really gauge it, you know.
For sure. And you know, with like some like I know like there's like a lot of like you were talking about it earlier, like the censorship and like being careful about like what you say because obviously like you know you're a comedian, you want to tell jokes, but how do you like balance that like telling a joke but also making sure it doesn't like cross that line or
Well,
yeah,
there is no line. There is no line.
yeah,
And if I'm talking about something, if my life offends you, that's your problem.
yeah,
Um, I care about my audience, but how do I say? I care about my performance. I'm not going to cater to them or pander to them.
mm-hmm.
I'm always coming from a good place, and fuck them.
Yeah,
You know, and you younger people really need to appreciate this because you didn't really were never around my grandparents' generation.
mm-hmm.
And to meet somebody that was an immigrant, what's your back? Are you Italian as well?
No, Jewish.
What are you? Huh?
I'm Jewish.
Okay. Well, you got a history there.
Yeah,
So when you meet these immigrants that had to leave their country because they were targeted by whatever, like, you know, my ancestors left Italy because of the fascism. And then
mm-hmm.
but they come here and they went to war. They were young people and you have to respect the idea that you should say what you want to say. That's what makes this country great. And if I want to say something, I'm going to say it. I'm not afraid of any one group. And it went away though. There was a moment where it was pretty dicey, but people kind of saw how that power was abused. Because
Yeah,
comics, we're the ones. Okay. My
mm-hmm.
generation, particularly from Bill Burr to Dave Chappelle to Chris Rock to, well, Bill Maher is older than me, obviously, but that we comics stood up to it. And we've always been the voice of people, from Lenny Bruce to George Carlin to Richard Pryor. And we've always been targeted by whatever political group is in power. I mean, they threw Lenny Bruce in jail. And then you had these groups. So don't ever cower to these people. You
Yeah,
say what you want to say, but just mean it. Mean what you want to say. You know what I'm saying? There are people that just say things just to say it and get shocked. And if that's your truth, then you speak your truth. And if somebody doesn't agree with you, that's on them. That ain't on you. That's not that's them. They're not emotionally stable to be in a room full of other fucking adults. Don't get me started, kid. No.
oh, for sure. And I mean, you know, as you were talking about, like you're not like making jokes that are like offending, like that are like meant to offend people. You know, like you're like it's like the like even like Cobra Kai. Like I think Cobra Kai is so what they do so great is like they take like some of the things in like real world that like Johnny is like an oblivious character to like, you know, what's going on in modern day. So they kind of like make fun of it by not like by having him make fun of it because he's just unaware. Like or even like there was a scene in season 2 with Kreese where he walks into the dojo, into the Cobra Kai dojo, and he sees a kid wearing a shirt that says the future is female, and Kreese is like, Jesus Christ. It's just like, you know, they're able to like
Because
joke with it.
it is absurd. It's all absurd. Um, and that's why people gravitate towards it. You know.
Yeah.
And by the way, you have every right to believe the future's female, and you have every right to be like, future should be for everybody.
For sure, yeah.
It would be like, I'm not shitting on your shirt, but let's say I don't like your shirt. Are you not still going to wear it, or are you going to go change? You follow me?
It depends how much you don't like it. I'll go. No, I'm kidding.
But I'm saying, what the fuck? I don't care. Don't care.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not intentionally intruding on people's happiness or property or safety.
Yeah.
Then, who cares? It's so funny how especially some of these media groups, they'll go after comedians. Meanwhile, there's a book out there, an Epstein's book with names that nobody's talking about or vetting.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to go after a guy who did a Saturday Night Live monologue or or a joke that you know is joking. It's insanity because it's easy targets, you know. But it's not as bad. How about this? It wasn't. It was kind of bad. It wasn't as bad as they made it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
But there were people that were like, I'm not hiring him because of whatever, that joke or this joke.
Mm.
But it's gone away. It's gone away because it did get a little out of control, and most people aren't like this.
Yeah.
Right. But what I love about your generation is you guys are really diehard comedy fans, man. But
sure.
Let's ask more questions about this. I keep forgetting it's a Cobra Kai podcast, so ask us stuff about Cobra Kai.
No,
I'll talk stand up all day, man.
No.
I go on tangents, bro.
No, Bret, that's all right. I want to talk about you and like everything that you're doing. So Cobra Kai comedy. Like I've worked comedy into my question, so I'm glad we.
All right, we're done with that. Just you can ask me questions about the show because all your followers like the show.
Well, now they're gonna get into now they're gonna check out. Hopefully, they'll come see a show if it's in their area. So you got Vegas. You come to Staten Island sometimes. Like, do you have any upcoming shows coming out? So if people do want to go see a show, they can.
Just we got some new shows, mostly in October, November, in Florida, San Diego, Phoenix. I had 2 in Florida. 3 actually, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, and Naples. But if you go to bretcomedy.com, BRET comedy.com, my schedule's up there. And if you want to check out Principal's Office, which was the first YouTube special, it actually won. I have it framed over there. It was in one of the top 5 specials by Men's Health magazine.
Wow.
And but you could check that out. And then the other one was Domesticated Animal. Just go to my YouTube channel. All the links are on my website. But go ahead, shoot some questions about Cobra Kai because I know your listeners love the show.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna link all of your socials down below so people can check out all your stuff. But yeah, I of course, we talked about working with Ralph and Billy. Yeah, so that first day, like I know that was back 2017 you filmed that, right?
Or it might have been 2016. I have to look.
Because I think the first season came out 2018. So I think
okay, so then it was 2017.
Okay. So yeah, so what was like the feeling? You're on set, Cobra Kai. This is, as you said, you grew up with Karate Kid. You're here with Ralph Macchio, Billy Zabka. Like what was the feeling overall? Did you think like, wow, this is like pretty cool?
Well, my agent called me and he said, look, I sent you the audition. There's a script. They're doing something with the Karate Kid online. So take a look at it. And then I didn't know what it was. I didn't really look at it till I was on the plane flying back to LA. And then I'm like, holy shit, this has got the original cast.
Yeah.
Right. And then they said it was for YouTube. So I was confused. And then I was able to answer questions. My agent was like, or my manager was like, yeah, it's, they're doing a series, YouTube starting a streaming service. Yeah. And then I'm like, all right. And I saw how much it paid. I'm like, well, it's paying like it's a normal show. I thought it was like some sketch thing. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was some kid in New York that was wearing different costumes. So, or outfits. So anyways, I went, I did it, got it. And then I had no idea that it was going to be all that. And when I got on set, I'm like, this is for YouTube, because, they were trying to compete with Netflix. So they started their own streaming service to compete with Netflix. And we got lucky because they promised us a full season. So we had season 1, 2 aired already on YouTube, and 3 we shot with YouTube. So when Netflix took it over during the pandemic, we were able to get another 3 seasons, but 4, 5, and 6 were through Netflix.
Yeah.
And we always knew how good the show was, but I never thought it would be this big of a hit. You can't plan on stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, I was already on to the next thing when it aired. And then, you know, we didn't, people saw it on YouTube, like the diehard fans. But then once it all, you know, came out and you know, somebody, hold on a second.
All good.
I'm on a call, love. Once it came out, then we knew, we had no idea that it was going to be this big on Netflix. You know, Netflix blew it up.
Yeah. Did you see like your followers start to rise once the Netflix?
You know, I got yes and no. Most of it came from the stand-up clips, but you know, it's funny, you'll read the comments. Can you close that down? Yeah. You'll read the comments and it'll say stuff like, you know, is this the guy from Cobra Kai? The thing is that's funny is I'll get recognized all the time, but nobody knows I'm a comic. So, you know, I'll be in the airport and they'll come up to me and they'll call me Cousin Vinny. You know. But what I honestly, what I like is that there's a younger audience.
Wait, like by accident they'll call you Cousin Vinny?
Yeah, like, hey, you played a Cousin Vinny. And, you know, that's I'm like, yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
But a lot of younger kids watch the show. So it's pretty cool because it's a family show.
Yeah.
And they come up to you. It's almost like a professional wrestler where like they know you're not real. They know the character is not real, but they're still looking at you as if you're the character.
Yeah, yeah. They're
So,
like,
you know,
how's your cousin doing? How's Daniel?
Yeah. The younger kids do that, you know,
Yeah.
which is cute, man. And you're like, yeah, all right. You know, it's good because I never expected to have an influence on that, you know, the show having an influence on younger people. But, you know, then you got your age range a lot loves the show. And then you got these older people that watch it that are familiar with, you know, the original Karate Kid. So it's nostalgic for them. So it really hit a lot of things. And it's been, you know, it did help my stand up. When they see my face on the billboard, then they'll be like, oh, that's the guy from the show.
Yeah.
So that helps. If I'm on radio in the morning promoting the show, that helps. But 9 out of 10 times, they don't even know I'm a stand-up. So,
well, I remember when you gave me your business card, I thought it was brilliant. Like you tied it with Cobra Kai and like it was like the LaRusso auto, Bret Ernst.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have a business card on you right now. Like, I don't know if you want to show everyone.
I don't think I do. I got a bunch of stuff I took from the set. I got this. I told you that. I showed you that.
Yeah.
My let me turn that. Where's the light? Can you read it?
Oh, wait, let me put it full screen so people can see. There you go.
LaRusso Auto Group.
2016. There
I
you
also
go.
got like the LaRusso car stuff, like the cars. I'll send you one.
What is it?
It's like these pamphlets that they have when we're like in the car dealership that we're holding that shows the cars on it.
Oh my God.
And it says LaRusso Motors.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're all over the dealership. So I took a couple of those. And I also have, I'm always keeping, like I kept premiere tickets when we had the premiere on Wednesday. I have a bunch of them. I'll send you one of those too, if you want it.
That'd be awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll get your address or whatever, and then I'll send it to you.
Oh, for sure. Thank you. How was the premiere? I know you were at the season 6 premiere. How was that experience getting to be with the cast, the crew, the fans?
It was awesome, man. It really is. And you know, you work hard and you sometimes forget because, like I said, in our business, you're always thinking of the next move. Mm-hmm. And when you're in those types of moments, you have to force yourself to really enjoy it and realize that, hey, this could be the last time I'm ever at a premiere because you don't know when the next job's coming. You know what I mean? I will say the fans are phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
You guys are great. And it's pretty cool to see them, like, because they were all lined up. They got there early. And, you know, they start yelling your name, you know, but they call you Louie and Noosh.
Do you respond like if you hear Louie on the street? Like if someone says Louie, like will you turn around? Like,
Well, I mean, it depends. Like, if they're like it's cousin Louie, or what, then I will. But they're like, hey, yo, Lou, then I'll think they're talking to somebody else.
yeah.
But I'll catch people staring at me, and they're like, where do I know him from? That type of stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love. Listen, man, I'm not being corny. It's nice that you can give people a positive emotion in life that you don't know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's a very special fandom. Like the show is just like there's just so much positivity around it. And like also like it's so cool, like with the show, there's so much. It's like you have the karate war, then you have Daniel's car dealership. And it's like what does it feel like to be like part of like because you're in like a cool role where you're working with LaRusso Auto. So you have all those like really fun scenes at the dealership, but then you're also part of the LaRusso family. So like then you get to be a part of the prom scenes and like, the club scenes. Like what is that like kind of like your role in particular and kind of doing those things?
Yeah, well, you're part of the canon now, right? So
Yeah.
Louis is, if you watch Karate Kid 2, that's my father that's dying.
Yeah.
In the bed.
Yeah.
And, when I was, however old I was when I was watching that, I had no idea that was my dad. And what I'm saying? But think about that. You're just a kid watching a movie, and then 20, 30 years later,
Yeah.
you're that son. That's who you're named after in the character, which that type of shit is cool and surreal,
Yeah.
But that's the cool part is I'm part of the canon, so to speak. I'm also in a video game. Was it you that sent me that?
Maybe you're in the Cobra Kai video game.
Was it you that sent me that where the door's open? I'm in the toilet. I'm like an Easter egg. Somebody sent this to me. I don't know.
Wait, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if that was me. But you got to tell me what you're talking about.
I have no idea. Somebody sent this and said, "Yo, you're in the video game," and they opened a bathroom stall, and I'm taking a shit like, hey.
Wait. No, because I don't remember this. Do you have did they get a picture of it?
Yeah, I'll find it.
Oh my god, so you're like a little Easter egg in the game.
Yeah. I don't know who sent it to me.
Did it look like you?
Kind of, yeah. Let me see. I think I sent it to my brother. I don't know who the hell sent it to me. I don't know what game it is. Have you played the game?
There's two games. There's two Cobra Kai video games. I don't know which one they're referring to. I didn't see that. So, but that's so cool though. That's funny.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. Yeah, like stuff like that's cool. But yeah, I'm taking a dump. It's not even Oh wait, here it is.
Oh my god, wait.
Shit, I just lost it. Hold on. Dang it. I don't know how to blow this up.
I'll put you full screen on here so we could. Oh my god. Wait. That is funny. That looks like actually, I don't know. Is it the first game or the second game? That's you.
I've never played it. Yeah, I'm like in the bathroom. Yeah, this is better. This is better. If you can see it.
Oh wait. What is the context to that?
I have no idea, man.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I'm hiding in a storage closet? I don't even know what the heck that is. Says engage. Anyways.
That's pretty cool though. That you're in a video game. You ever thought that would happen?
No, that's what I mean. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Why? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the next they need to make you a playable character where you can actually like choose you and move you around.
Yeah, like one of those bonus guys. You know what would have been dope if there's an action figure. That to me is the pinnacle because I know they have Karate Kid action figures and stuff. That would be That would be the greatest thing ever.
Like a
I've had some
LaRusso action
fans,
set.
well, they'll do Cobra Kai action figures, but what am I going to do? And here's Louie and Anoush. They're going to sell a car.
Hey, dude, I would buy it. I would buy it.
Yeah, here's Hawk with his action punch. Uh-oh. Here comes Louie. He's going to sell you a car.
No,
there's nothing really exciting about it.
We could get like Louie and Anoush like in the Ghostbusters outfits, like on the billboard.
Yeah.
What was that like?
A little play set.
Yeah,
that was I actually we improv that line.
Oh wait, the Ghostbusters line?
Yeah, that was actually my line. I improv'd it.
Oh my god, that's one of my favorite lines. It's not bad enough you got up, but you're looking at us looking like Ghostbusters. That's brilliant.
Well, I was riffing, and then I don't know if it was Josh, John, or Hayden, and I was like, I go, "What are we, Ghostbusters?" And then he started laughing. He's like, "You got to use that."
Yeah,
those guys. Let me tell you something, man. Those guys are brilliant writers and brilliant creators, and even better directors to work for, because they let you. They'll give you. They'll do it the way it's written, then they'll let you do it your way, and they because they come from a comedy background,
yeah.
So they get what's funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they'll allow you to do things, and it's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun working for them.
Well, that's nice that you guys like built that relationship and especially like early on too, because that was season 1 where they were like, yeah, like go for it, like improv.
Well, we were all in it. It was a new network, a new experiment, so we were all in it together, and it honestly is the best experience I've ever had on any show I've ever worked on, from top to bottom. From everybody, there was no egos. Everybody was just nice. It was like a family. The families would be on the set. I mean, I obviously I'm close with Ralph's daughter, and then his son would come, and his wife, and Billy would bring his family, and we just all, it was just such a nice, wonderful experience. And yeah, it was great, man. And I was actually, my crew, I was closest with Courtney, Vanessa, Dan, and me. We hang out. We would hang out. Because let me tell you, Courtney's one of the funniest people.
Yeah.
She's hilarious. Vanessa's just so chill and cool. That's like, I don't know if you saw, Dan did the food review of us when we went out to dinner.
Wait, who went? When you, Vanessa, Courtney, and Dan went out to dinner? I got to see that.
He does this Gen Z food review, like a spoof.
Yeah.
And we went out to this Persian restaurant. Dan is the kid is such a food snob.
He has a book on it.
Yeah. So he's always talking about these places. Hey, we're going to go here. We're going to go there. I had some friends in Atlanta the first season we were there, because, we live in Atlanta for a little bit. That's where we shoot. And me and Dan's like, hey, you want to go out? And I'm like, well, I'm supposed to meet my friends because my buddies own some nightclubs up there. Mm-hmm. And these are guys I knew before I got into the entertainment business. So long story boring. Friday, he picked the restaurant, and we're going to the steakhouse on Saturday. So he loves those like hipster, trendy type things, right? Mm-hmm. So we go to this restaurant, and automatically I'm shitting on it. It's because, you go to those places, it's like, it's just a lot. I just want a burger. That's it. So they had like 800 beers and like all kinds of shit. Like, all these names of things that I don't, like fancy names. So Dan starts talking to them in a way where like, oh, so is this? And I'm like, what? All right. I told her, I said, look, what's your closest thing to Guinness? Right. Mm-hmm. They hated Dan. They loved me. They thought he was an asshole, but I'm not going to lie. After shitting on him, it was the best food I ever had. I was like, this place is amazing.
What'd you end up getting?
Burger.
Yo, you got a burger.
But it was like a bison burger with an arugula tomato and something mushroom with shiitake onions. Like it was all this descriptive stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want a regular burger, however you make it. And it was phenomenal. It was the best. It was one of the best burgers I ever had.
Oh, wow.
And then Dan got some type of shit. I don't know what he got. Pandaluni or whatever the hell it was. But then the next night, we go to my restaurant, which was just an old school steakhouse. It was phenomenal. We went out afterwards. Now, I don't know if you know, but Dan was on a Nickelodeon show or a Disney show.
Kicking it.
Yeah, he played Falafel Phil.
Yeah.
So some of the guys that I'm with, you know, they're a lot of New York guys, older guys. So, you know, kind of street guys.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And then they're in the nightclub business, so you can do the math. Good guys. And then Dan, people are going up, like younger people, like, oh my God, it's Falafel Phil. Dude, I'm not making this up. And I'm like, yo, who the fuck is Falafel Phil? He's like, yeah, I played Falafel Phil on a kid show. Dude, I mean, the DJ did the Falafel Phil's in the house. Like, and my buddy's like, yo, who the fuck is Falafel Phil?
Oh my God.
You know, it was hilarious to see all this attention on him and then he kind of fessed up. Yeah, I was on was it Nickelodeon? One of those shows.
Disney XD. I watched that. That's how I knew him. I knew him as Falafel Phil.
But he's such a great guy. But we go to a strip club and he's ordering wine. And I forgot what he ordered. Like a Barolo or a Merlot or whatever. And they're like, this is what we got. And I'm like, yeah, they think it's one of the girls at work there.
I thought you were going to say that he got recognized as Falafel Phil at the strip club.
Oh, he did. All the dancers knew him.
The dancers did.
But I'm saying he's ordering wine.
Yeah.
He's like, do you have a Chardonnay or Merlot? And I'm like, they think that they thought it was one of the dancers he's asking for. But yeah, I mean, he is that guy. But our friendship, man, when we toured together doing shows, we did the Comics of Cobra Kai tour.
Yeah.
Because it's me, him, and then Sean, the one that plays I forgot the bad boy.
Mike Barnes, Sean Kanan. Yeah,
Mike Barnes. Yeah, he's a comic as well. He does stand up.
Yeah.
He was doing it in LA. He was like a big soap opera guy too.
Yeah. I saw him in Stanford when he did a comedy show. Last year, yeah.
So we were trying to get that type of thing going, but then the schedule's all. But me and Dan by ourselves, I think we did 9 shows.
Oh, wow.
Together. Yeah, nice. Dan's great. He is. He's such a smug, likable guy. He's a douche, man.
He's a douche. It's a douche.
They basically we're both kind of the same person, and when we get together, it's kind of the same thing. It's like,
yeah. So even like in season 3, like you had the scene where the snake is in the dealership and like he jumps into your arms. Like what are you like? Would that actually have been like the reaction you think in real life? Like we're like you guys would have.
I think we improv that too. I think Dan just did that.
You didn't know he was gonna jump into your arms.
No, I don't think I did. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he improv that.
Oh my! It sounds like a lot of the best stuff was improv.
I mean, it's got to be written kind of in order to react to it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense, right? So the everything's there. We just do things in the moment but it's still written that way in a sense. Your actions or things you might add is, basic. It's like the premise is there, But yeah, no, in real life he wouldn't go that far, but he would definitely be analyzing it.
Huh, there's a snake in the dealership in the
Yeah, okay.
showroom.
I don't know if you notice. No, he's really one of, yeah, we very close. We just talked what was it, yesterday?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Two of my friends, their names are Jess and Mariah. They have a Cobra Kai fan account called the Karate Gals. They saw you and Dan in a
Yeah, we
show.
met them. They
You,
came to our show, man. They were
yeah,
nice kids.
you did the photo where like you were holding Dan and then like she was holding
Yeah.
her friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that was in Denver or yeah, Denver, Colorado, or somewhere in
No,
Colorado. No,
was it Colorado?
because that's where they're from. So I would just
Yeah, it might have been.
yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but no, but that was awesome. I want to see you guys together so bad because I met you. I didn't meet Dan at the Cobra Kai concert in LA, so I met him separately. But
Did I see you there?
at the concert, I don't know if you were there in 2022.
Yeah, the Netflix thing. We hosted it.
Oh wait, not the Live and Badass event. Wait, the concert, the where Zach and Leo were playing the music.
Oh, I don't. No. I wasn't there for that.
But you were at the Live and Badass event. Wait, which
Yeah, Netflix at the Netflix festival. We had a whole. Me and Dan basically hosted it. All the
yes.
fans came.
Yes, I was there. Yeah. No, that was
I yelled at that guy.
the guy.
Remember, all the kids had dressed up in their karate, and then there was a guy that was like
Yeah.
pushing 30, standing next to a 4-year-old in a gi. I'm like, yo, man, sit down.
I know. I actually went on stage for that. I was because all I had was like a headband, but I was like, this is my chance to go on stage. So I went on stage. Of course, I think you guys kicked me out.
But I didn't recognize you. Was that before you went?
That was before we met. Which is
okay.
Yeah.
So you were one of the guys?
I was one of the guys. But like, it's funny. I forgot about that because that was a year before. No, it wasn't a year. It was like a few months before we. I don't even. It was May of 2022, and we met.
I think it was at the Nokia Theater. We were at the Nokia Theater downtown LA.
Yeah.
And it was the whole cast. We did a Q&A. We did some trivia. Then they had the costume contest, and there was like a grown man that was like 30 something trying to win a skateboard. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Sit down.
Yeah.
I told him there's a what was it, a 5-year-old? There's a child next to you.
Hey, he wanted to get up on stage.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that was my chance. I was like, okay, I'm not winning this, but I'm going to get up on stage. So here we go. So, but yeah, that was fun. That was great. And yeah, so, okay. So you mentioned, Julia Macchio, Ralph Macchio's daughter in real life. She plays, your sister in the show, Vanessa. You guys have such a great chemistry too. Like I feel like a lot of the cast you have really good chemistry with. So how did like that relationship click? Because you guys got like that brother sister banter.
Hey, she's like when you grow up in an Italian American family from the Northeast. Everybody she could be a cousin in real life. I mean, it's just like hanging with family. But that's what I meant. Like just the whole set was. It was just such a pleasure, man. Everybody, I can't explain it. There was just so much camaraderie, and nobody like Yuji. He's come to Vegas a couple times. I saw him in Seattle.
Nice.
That type of stuff, man. I mean, we all really enjoyed each other and sincerely liked each other.
Yeah.
And, most of my scenes are with the adults. I wasn't really with the kids that much, except when I was messing with Tanner in season one.
Some of the best scenes. So my favorite bit, one of my favorite bits, because it's just such an underrated one. You and Anush are picking on him. Anush is like, not enough salt with the popcorn, and then you come in and you're like, hey, there's too much salt, and it's like just such a, you don't really like. Anush kind of like blows by it. Like you don't even like really bring that much knowledge, but it's just like the complete contrast. So funny.
He was because I don't know if that was his first gig, but
Tanner.
he was like he was like a professional. Like he was so comfortable.
Yeah.
But like I remember because everybody, I can't explain it. Like, and sometimes when you're on set with younger actors, you know they act a certain way. Some of them don't have a maturity level,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody there was like they acted like professionals, and they were just nice. There was nothing stupid.
Yeah.
It was just a very professional, friendly family. And I'm not just saying that, man. Like if it wasn't, I'd just be indifferent to it. I wouldn't even bring it up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
For sure. And I know you're serious because like anytime I talk to anybody who is involved in the show, it's like all positive things to say about the people who are involved, which is like really special because I mean, you hear stories about shows, especially like a show that's going for 6 seasons, you know, like there's always the drama of this and that, but like with this show, it's pretty like in real life. It's ironic. The show itself, the story, there's so much drama, but in real life regarding it, you don't hear Cobra Kai scandal with actors Ralph Macchio and Billy Zabka. Yeah.
And I'll tell you something else, what goes. I don't know if you know this, but Will Smith's production company is involved,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
Caleb that they run Overbrook, I think it's called, right? Is it Overbrook?
Is it Overlook?
No, I think it's Overbrook.
It's Overbrook. Wait, what is it?
Because they produce it with Hayden and Josh.
Oh,
and John.
Overbrook Entertainment. Yeah.
Yeah, Overbrook. So that's the other things. A lot of times you'll get like one production company because there's others that go together, like because we're working with Sony as well. Those partnered, it was just even like Caleb and those guys at Overbrook that were working with John and those guys and Hayden and Josh. There was everybody was, it was just one big happy family. And I've never in my 20 something years of doing this saw that. So like I said, it was a really cool thing to be a part of, man. And when we get off, you're going to have to give me your address. I'll send you that stuff.
I appreciate that. I'm going to need yours too. Cause I want to send you some Cobra Kai Kid merch. I have some t-shirts. So if you want one, I got you covered. You're a large.
Anything else you want to ask before we wrap it up?
Yeah. Okay. I do want to ask you, for anyone out there watching, do you have any advice if they want to get into the entertainment industry? You know, you're an actor, comedian, writer. Like if someone wants to, you know, get into the world of entertainment, what is your advice for them?
Start right away. Okay. There's never the right time. Once you take the first step, you just start going and you're going to fail. 98.9% of the time.
Yeah.
It's way, way, way more no's. It's a series of no's. So when you first get in, you got to understand the odds are stacked against you. But the more no's you get, the odds start becoming in your favor that you're going to get a yes. Enjoy the process. Okay. The process in itself. Don't hurry to get to the finish line. You have to understand too, it's not about just being famous. If you want to act and you want to do comedy, you need to develop the skill set, and you only get that through failure. So just understand failure is a good thing. And do it. Just get up and do it. Get at it right away. I always tell people on the average, you only have 750,000 hours of life, and the clock never stops ticking. And at the end of the day, you want to do something that you love to do. And if God blesses you, then you are able to make a living at it. And it's not how well you're doing, it's how long you're doing well. So whatever your passion is, just go for it. But also be realistic too. Don't You know, it's like I played football my whole life. I know I'm not going to be Tom Brady. You know what I mean? So have self-assessment, be honest with yourself. Whatever you're not good at, you can work harder at. And the other thing is accountability. Whatever failures, wherever you're at in life, just own it. You're there for either some dumb decision you made, even if it's not your fault, then it was your decision to trust somebody that did that to you. So, those types of things. And just go enjoy the ride, man. Because it's a lot of fun. It is. It's a lot of fun. And as comics, like, we talk about bombing more than we talk about killing. Right? So when you hear us laughing and reminiscing, it would be like, yo, remember that one time you ate shit? Like when Marty Sebastian, he wrote in his book about this gig we did in a boxing ring. And we drove up and we were in a boxing ring and I was just dying in the boxing ring. And he went up and died. But we laughed about it the whole way home. And then we drove like 5 hours for $200. But in the book, he really talks about that type of thing as comics, what we do. Yeah. And you just laugh, man. You just, don't take it all so serious.
I think you covered a lot of great stuff. I think that's really good advice for anybody who wants to do like, anything, whether it's like acting, comedy, or just anything in general. So
younger people have to realize that failure is part of it.
Yeah.
All part of it. It's, what do they say? Good decisions are based on experience, and experience is based on bad decisions.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that. I forgot how it went, but it is. That's the only way you become a professional at something is through constant failure.
Yeah, definitely.
And fear, everybody, you have to get over it. People think people are born fearless in literature and in writing. The one thing the coward and the hero have in common is they're both afraid. The difference is the coward doesn't go forward. The hero forces himself to. Right?
For sure.
So know that being scared of something is natural. The hero, that's a common denominator with the hero and the coward. Just go do it. And once you do it, you're going to want to do it again. And look forward to failing, because it's going to happen. You understand? It's going to happen. I can't even tell you some of the shit I did. That's just so cringy, bro. So bad. I was doing an audition one time and the guy just started making a phone call. It was so bad.
Oh no.
And I was like, I told him, I go, I'm very blessed with the ability to not let things bother me. Like even when people comment on my comedy, I don't care. Yeah. I've been accused of stealing from myself because people don't realize how long I've been in the business. I've heard that joke before. Yeah, that's you. Like, I saw it on Comedy Central. Yeah, it was me. Because they think I'm a lot younger than I am. I don't know, but I'm like, dude, because there was the same joke I did on different platforms. So I was hearing it. So anyways, I asked the guy when he started answering the phone, I go, yo, I go, is it that bad? And he goes, and I laughed and I said, all right. And he goes, but don't worry. He goes, you got a good energy in the room, but you're not getting this. So I said, I figured that. So we had a laugh, and then he called me back and he worked with me a lot.
Yeah. So in that moment when that happened, like, I mean, it's interesting because like there's two different types of people. Maybe not two, maybe there could be more, but like it's like same situation. One person, nope, never auditioning again. And then you decided to keep going with it. Like, how did you like not let that? Because that's a phone call during an audition saying like, oh, that wasn't good. Like,
I bombed in rooms of people in bar shows. Like as a comic, you just develop this thick skin and this vulnerability.
Yeah.
So it really didn't throw me off. And I didn't take it personal. That's another good advice. Don't take anything personal.
Yeah.
Okay. There's always reasons. One time I was auditioning for a project. I actually did beer league with Ralph. That's when I first met Ralph Macchio, was
Really?
in beer league with Artie Lang. And I remember I went in and I was reading for some of the bigger parts. And one of them was Ralph's part.
Oh, wow.
And they kept bringing me back and bringing me back. And I didn't get either of them.
Mm.
But the director called me and said, look, we really liked you. We had the offers out already. We were just covering our bases in case somebody said no.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you leave the audition going, I suck, I was terrible, there was a reason for it. And they ended up giving me like a couple lines in the movie just because they liked me. But I didn't take it personally, because you never know the reasons why you're not getting the role.
Yeah.
You know? And if you think that the world is sitting there contriving against you, you're a narcissist. Nobody's giving you that much thought.
Mm-hmm.
And people think that there's these conspiracies against them, and wow, they don't like this, they're jealous. No, it doesn't work that way. Just if you go in and you're undeniable and you're good, it'll start to work out for you. Just got to work at that.
Yeah.
I never take any. And the other thing I love is I love this. It's this quote. It's none of my business what you think about me.
Mm.
So if I'm giving a performance on stage and you don't like it, that's your business. I can't take that personal.
Mm-hmm.
And once I put it out there, it's your right to shit on it. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. I can't. So it's none of my business. If you want to say, if you thought I was great, that's great. If you want to tell me I suck, that's fine. It's still none of my business, because you got to focus on what you want to do. Put those blockers on, because life is fair, and it's fair because you're going to fail. And that's part of being fair. If everything went your way, then it wouldn't be fair. It would be unfair to somebody who didn't get shit. So you take the wins and the losses. It's going to be way more losses than wins. But when you win fucking big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. So
we need to hear this from Louie in Cobra Kai season 6 when Daniel's going through a tough time. We need like an inspirational Louie speech. Like, this was great.
Yeah, Louie doesn't have that capability.
But you know what I mean? In like Cobra Kai, like there's those scenes where they're like the heart to hearts. Like, that would be pretty cool. Like, hearing everything you just said. Like, you're gonna fail, but it's about getting back up. Like, imagine Louie giving advice to Daniel.
It's way more losses than wins. But like I said, when you win, you fucking win.
You win big, and the losses make it feel like even more of a win. Like,
yep,
it's like
you earned it. Like, I've earned every fucking centimeter of my career.
Yeah.
It's all of it. Nobody that you have help along the way, but the help comes from opportunity for both. Right. And you just continue to keep going and going and going and going. And when you realize that art is like golf, you're just competing against yourself. A lot of people in our business have problems with people that they're with or friends with doing better than them. Mm. That's got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Your tables, there's always a place at the table for talent. Yeah. There's always a place. So you bring something to the table. Bring it. Bring your uniqueness and your excellence. But it takes time. And it takes work. And anything fast and easy, look, you can't trust. Whether it's easy money, easy opportunities, easy women, anything. Anything that just comes like that, there's always a catch. So think Sicilian.
Well, even like the AI, what we're talking about, the AI thing where you put in the video and it just generates clips. Like, you can't just do that and then like, I'm just gonna upload whatever it is. It's like,
look, there's so many things trying to take us away from the human experience.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds redundant, but human is humanity. Mm-hmm. Failure is, you got to treat that with the same love as success. It's all part of the human experience. It's all part of the roller coaster. It would be like just putting you on the drop before you go in like this. The drop hits on a roller coaster because you just went up like this slow.
Yeah.
And the whole thing's only a couple seconds, not even a minute, when you were waiting in line for 30 minutes. But that makes it better. All of it is all part of it. So
Yeah.
when you're doing AI, you're getting away from the emotion behind the creation, or whether it be a painting, a song, a joke, whatever, playing different characters. It's all part of it.
Yeah.
And you want to go through the experience with it. It would be like dating. You want to date somebody when you get to know them, and then when you get to know them, then you really fall in love, and when you fall in love, you get married and you have a family, and all of that is great. If you just paid for somebody to be your wife, you missed all the fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And then
anyways,
you go through the
I'm beating a dead
heartbreak.
horse with this. We should
Yeah.
have just left on when you win big.
There you go. We'll end it there. When you win big.
You win big. You have way more else.
Yes. Love that. Well, Bret, thank you so much for joining me. This was great. It was great getting to cover every aspect of your career, and of course I know we could have kept going, and I hope to have you back another
You might
time.
have to edit this down, though. This is long, bro.
No,
you might have to edit out.
No, I like it personally. I had a fun time. I think people that watch the whole thing, they'll want to hear it.
And can I say something to the people that, well, I don't know how many followers you got on this thing.
I have 230,000 subscribers, so thousands of people will be watching this, hopefully.
Well, to everybody watching this, I want to thank you so much for really supporting the show, man. I'm not doing the corny without the fans. No, I meant
but
it's not even that. I mean, your love for the show and your passion for the show, it validates some of what we do. So that's really what I'm trying to say. So we really do. We appreciate the love, and I appreciate you having me on. I'm 40 minutes past where I'm supposed to go to dinner. But listen.
No.
Text me your address and I'll send you some of that stuff.
I will.
And if you want, let me know. I'll sign something, or, if you want to try and give it to somebody listening.
Oh, that'd be a good idea if you want to do that.
I got Cousin Louie headshots somewhere.
Yeah, we could do something like that where like some people in the comments will get it. We could I don't want to keep you, but I could text you about that if you want.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Okay. Can you take us out with like I'll say like thank you guys for watching Cobra Kai Never Dies. Can you say Cobra Kai Never Dies?
No.
Okay.
Here's why.
Yeah.
I'm Miyagi-Do. I don't sell out the family.
I should have known. The LaRussos come first. All right. So what's the line that we're gonna take it out with? Is there?
I have no idea. I'll do Cobra Kai Never Dies, buddy. But come on, we're Miyagi-Do. Or Eagle Fang. We could do Eagle Fang or Miyagi-Do. You're making me switch out again. This is what they did. They made me rat on my cousin, and now you're making me go against the family.
I know. Me, Johnny, we're all just trying to turn you against LaRusso.
And does Miyagi-Do have a saying?
Balance, inner peace, focus. I don't know. Breathe.
Yo, again, take us out. Let's go. Tell me what to say, and I'll say
it. Whatever you want, you take us out with whatever it is.
I'll take it out like this. Thank you guys again, and remember, we're Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang all day.